Well, I think it's time now to turn our focus to our main event this evening, the Zelo Pro Women's Championship on the line. And Val, this match, 4 years in the making.
Absolutely.
And it was our very first time. It was LAYNIE Luck and KYLIE RAE. They were in that very first match to decide the first ever Zelo Pro Women's Champion. It was KYLIE RAE who was the winner coming out of that one. Here we are today. We got a 2-time women's champion in KYLIE RAE. We now have a 2-time women's champion in LAYNIE Luck. Will KYLIE RAE one-up LAYNIE Luck and become 3-time Zelo Pro Women's Champion?
Our main event is scheduled for one fall and is for the Zelo Pro Women's Championship. Introducing first the challenger in the corner to my left. She's just happy to be here. Smiling, KYLIE RAE. Her opponent, now residing in Chicago, Illinois. She is the Zelo Pro Women's Champion. She's 2-termed LAYNIE Luck, the Party Unicorn!
Val Capone here at Level Up. It all comes down to this. The Zelo Pro Women's Championship on the line. Freshly won by LAYNIE Luck back at Violent Valentine's. It wasn't long ago, and we saw that GPA very much involved in the ending of that matchup, taking the title, basically stealing the title from Jordynne Grace. But if there had to be a first ever contender and it couldn't be Jordynne Grace, thank goodness it's KYLIE RAE.
Absolutely. You know, and these two know each other pretty much better than anyone on the Zelo roster. They have challenged each other, faced each other, trained together so many times. And it's exciting to see a 2-time women's champ, our first 2-time women's champ in KYLIE RAE, taking on our most recent 2-time women's champ in LAYNIE Luck, who may or may not have received the title, or I guess earned, but at least received the title via nefarious ways. But nonetheless, we are seeing 2 times versus 2 times, and now we are seeing them in a tight lockup in the center of the ring.
If you're a longtime Zelo fan, it might feel like balance has been restored to Zelo Pro, with LAYNIE Luck being the Zelo Pro Women's Champion. Of course, I'm referencing her 635-day title reign that went, it seemed like she was going to go and make 1,000, get 2 years plus and get to 1,000 days.
In fairness, I mean, that is a very impressive stats, and the record books will always show that, so props to LAYNIE Luck herself for that. But let's look at that time period, 635 days from August 2019 until May 2021.
Yes.
I don't know if you know, but there's something pretty catastrophic and major that put a pause on all things in the world. during that time. Yeah, so, I mean, yes, that is an impressive stat, but would she have retained that entire time? And I don't want to live in the world of coulda, woulda, shoulda. I'm not into that. However, I can't look at that as a guarantee that she's going to retain the title. There's a very good chance because she knows KYLIE better than anyone. But at the same time, I don't know if that's a stat I want to rest all my laurels on for LAYNIE Luck.
Yeah, she did certainly pick up some, high-profile victories during her time, talking about like Alexis Gracia, and then the list goes on. And we see a hammerlock in the middle of the ring. Of course, the Zelo Pro Championship being held by the likes of a Tessa Blanchard and a Britt Baker, and has been challenged for by the likes of a Chelsea Green, and of course held by, most recently, by Jordan Grace. So
yes,
yeah,
it's a
so much lineage.
Very esteemed lineage, and yes, that battle, I believe, against Alex Gracia was in this room.
That's right, very much in the Turner Hall Ballroom.
And also in this Turner Hall Ballroom, we saw the first ever women's main event that KYLIE RAE was a part of, and now we have these 2 strongholds of Zelo Pro Wrestling once again making history, as we are going to see our first ever 3-time women's champion.
If KYLIE wins.
Well,
because if LAYNIE Luck wins, she's not a 3-time champion.
Well, no, you're right, but this would be her defending and reigning, retaining.
Yes.
So it would be, yes, if KYLIE RAE wins, we would see a 3-time women's champ. But this would be a huge, huge get for LAYNIE if she could hold on to the title.
Oh, yeah, definitely no question about that. As we see a leg scissors right in the center of the ring. The great way to cut off the oxygen to the brain. Beautifully done by KYLIE RAE, and into the pin, no less.
Oh, and up with a smile immediately.
Showing LAYNIE Luck that she is not bothered. Now, LAYNIE seems impressed, though.
I gotta say, I don't want to see any taunting of LAYNIE Luck, because when you taunt LAYNIE Luck, she gets fired up. When she gets fired up, she gets mean, and there you go, the proof is in the pudding. Grabbing KYLIE by her skull, throwing her to the ground, and then mocking her